Hello there, and welcome to Hello There, Episode 2. This is a Star Wars podcast. I'm Anthony. I'm joined with Nate Hicks, as well as joining us again this week, Jeff Mizrahi.
What up, what up, what up?
So, we did promise that we're going to be more regular with the show, and then we immediately took a day off, or took a week off. But it's the holidays, so that's why we're going to try and be regular going forward. You know, it's Christmas, so we didn't want to really record that week. So I think we were all busy anyways. But this is January 1st, 2021. We are in a new year. It's going to be a new era for Star Wars. This week we're going to catch up on the Lucasfilm projects that were revealed a couple weeks ago. Because we didn't talk about them in the last episode, because the last episode we dug into the Mandalorian season finale. There's a lot of Star Wars going on, so I'm excited to dig into it with you guys. Yeah, I mean, how was your holidays? Get any Star Wars stuff? How you feeling?
Oh, good question. I like that as a starter. Any Star Wars gifts? Yes. So I'll start. For my roommate, I got a Baby Yoda T-shirt, but like I think a solid one. So it's like a black with like a gray outline of Baby Yoda kind of vibe. Like it's like simple. It doesn't say like I want to fuck Baby Yoda, just some like weird insane thing. A Art of Mandalorian season 1 book, dope art book. For my office Secret Santa, I got J.W. Rinsler's The Definitive History of Star Wars, which it has been 2 weeks since I got that, and I still have not actually read it. I have been looking at it constantly, like on the the cover.
Yeah.
Like on the
Shout
table.
out to J.W. Rinsler. I think he is actually is he not well?
Ooh. Well,
I think
he actually does a lot of them. He does the definitive history of Blade Runner also, or Alien.
I think he just announced that he had. Let me see, because I think he.
But yeah, you read that book, you get the Ralph McQuarrie art book for like the Star Wars inspiration. That's like Star Wars.
So J.W. Rinsler actually, it looks like he has stage 4 pancreatic cancer. So that is rough. So I mean, we're not a very big podcast, so it's not, I would say, anyone listening, go, share some love to Mr. Rinsler. But yeah, I mean, I hope he gets better. I mean, he's been doing these Star Wars art books and all this documentation and stuff since really almost the beginning. So
they have them. I think it goes up to the Phantom Menace, the definitive. Well, I know because I know they have the original trilogy. But,
I mean, he's been doing Star Wars stuff in general, for a long time. So I mean, I'm wishing him the best. Hope he gets well. Stage 4 cancer is no joke. So I'm hoping he gets better. So, but yeah. So what else did you get? You got the art book. You're trying to summon the courage to get through it.
I'm trying to think what else I got. I bought for myself a month ago at this point for Black Friday. The Tantive 4 Lego. Finally built that over this holiday, so I gave the built version to myself.
Nice.
But yeah, that's about it. Nate, how about you? What did you get?
So I actually didn't get a lot of Star Wars related things. I think the most thing I did get was a $50 PlayStation gift card, which I used to buy Vader Immortal, among other things. So still haven't played that yet on PSVR. I bought that in like Super Hot, and so I've kind of played more Super Hot. But
was those on sale? Was that a sale at all?
Yeah, so I got Super Hot 1 and technically the sequel, which is Mind Control. It's kind of weird. Dead Island, like the 2 games, Riptide and Definitive, and Vader Immortal for $49 altogether.
Nice.
Wow, dude.
Vader Immortal's like 20. So
I got some good deals on Switch and PlayStation this holiday season too. But this is not a video game podcast.
Yeah. But I gotta try that out. And then before Christmas, I actually ended up watching the Lego holiday special. And
so what you think?
I never watched it. I like totally forgot about it.
Oh, you missed the whole holidays.
I know. I totally.
It's kind of one of those. It's kind of one of those that I appreciate it. I'm glad it was only 30 to 45 minutes long, because I think that fit. If it would have went longer, I think I would have been a little bit more about it. But it's definitely kiddie. It's kind of one of those you really have to put on your, like, okay, this is just going to be dumb fun. I'm going to watch. It does some interesting things. I will say that. Like some of the jokes they make and some of the things that they do is funny. But it's kind of one of those, and I think you'll share the same thing, Anthony, is I had a hard time trying to take away my frustration with the sequel trilogy when watching it.
Dude, it actually makes the sequel trilogy better.
It does,
It's
but it's one of those. It's one of those things. It's like, this is good stuff, man. Why didn't we get like just good banter dialogue between these like
insane, right?
Group members throughout the film?
As Ryan Johnson says to
because we wanted Rey to be Palpatine, Mary Sue. I mean, I hate saying that at this point, but it's
in the oh my god,
I'm not going to get lost in it. That's all I'm going to say on it.
We're not talking about TLJ right now.
Yeah,
I have visual aids if you're watching the YouTube version. But no, about the holiday special, I like how it like hardcore canonizes Finn being a Jedi, because this is not a spoiler. This is the beginning. But Rey is teaching Finn how to master the Force, and it's like, oh, cool if we saw that anywhere else. And there, I think there were some. It was definitely kiddie, but there were definitely some jokes for old time fans like us, old timers. But just people who watched them all,
Yeah, I mean, you guys know how I feel about the sequel trilogy as a whole. I think that The Force Awakens was a good movie. I think that The Last Jedi was a good film, but a bad Star Wars movie. And I think that The Rise of Skywalker was a good Star Wars adventure, but a bad movie. And that's kind of where I stand with those. And I'm kind of okay just kind of putting them to the side. And I'm not really going to tell people they can or can't like them. But for me personally, I have no reason to kind of revisit them until they give me a reason to revisit them, a la something like the Clone Wars that, kind of went back and added a lot of texture and flavor to the prequels. If they do something like that, because Resistance isn't that, maybe if they do something, which it seems like they might be doing with The Mandalorian, because it sure seems like we're leading to some sort of, revival of Palpatine or Snoke, one or the other or both in that series, or at least it's what it seemed like it was.
Yeah.
But before we move on from Christmas gifts, my best friend got me the child, and he is super fucking lifelike, and it's crazy.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
It's plush on the inside, but like his head is like plastic, and it like really looks like legit.
I think that I would be happier with that version than paying for the sideshow version.
Oh my god, so expensive for no reason.
Well, that, and also it's like, it's really cool and lifelike, but it's like I feel like I want that plush version of the child.
Well, I don't have to worry if my cat's knock it over. It's not hundreds of dollars, So, and so I got that, and then I ended up picking up Star Wars Squadrons on sale. Because I played the first. I played the first level.
PS5.
PS4, but PS5,
yeah. Wow, $375 for the slideshow one.
Yeah, that's why I'd rather. I'm good with that one. So, but yeah, Squadrons. I don't know, man. Like, it's not that it's not good. I think it's a good game. I'm just not good at it. Like, I just can't figure out like what I'm doing wrong. Like, I feel like I'm horrible at this game.
Do you think you would be better if?
But I was fine in Battlefront 2's like starfighter missions. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
Well, do you think you would be better if you had the actual like flight stick situation?
Probably not, honestly. I think I'd probably be even worse because I wouldn't know what the hell is what. I want to try it in VR. I feel like because my periphery is so limited, you know what I mean? Maybe that's what it is. Because I wish that there was a way to look around in the cockpit, because I feel like you press, you look left or right and the whole ship moves left or right, and I want to physically be able to look left or right. So I got to try it in VR. Let me know how it is, because I was gonna pick up Squadrons 2, but I was like, well, let me get Immortal for now and kind of see where I go from there. But I knew I wasn't gonna have time to set up the VR, so I was like, let me get Squadrons instead of Vader Immortal. Like, I had the opposite of you, where like I was thinking on one or the other, and I also heard Vader Immortal wasn't as good on PSVR as it was on Oculus.
See, that's the thing, but you kind of talked me out of waiting to pay $300 to get a Quest to play Vader Immortal.
Don't buy a Quest for one game.
Yeah. Well, I want a Quest just in general, but it was $20. You can't really beat that. So I'll see how it is.
Yo, who published Vader Immortal?
Disney Interactive. I'm almost positive.
Yeah, EA did it.
Was it Buena Vista?
I
thought that was Disney Interactive. Let me see. Let me look it up.
It looks self-published or something, because on the Wikipedia page nothing shows it. I say so because you're probably more likely, Nate at least, to get Squadron on an EA Access type thing.
Yeah, Disney Interactive Studios.
Oh, okay, cool.
So it looks like it was developed internally at Industrial Light and Magic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was all their VR stuff. My brother's playing the Galaxy's Edge VR thing. He says that's really good.
Ooh, that looks really cool too. Is that on PSVR or it's only on Quest?
No, that's gonna be Quest
right now.
Yeah.
All this ILM VR shit is all Quest first. It's crazy. Okay. I mean, Quest runs it the best, of course.
I mean, it's pushing you to buy the Quest. I mean, it's smart. Yeah. I can't fault him on that.
I do want to buy a Quest.
Yeah.
But Vader Immortal, yeah, that's cool. Anthony, solid game. And Star Wars Squadrons. Oh no, wait, you picked up Star Wars Squadrons. You said, yeah.
Well, you beat Star Wars Squadrons, right?
I enjoyed Star Wars Squadrons for what it was. Yeah.
Did you play the multiplayer at all, or?
Yeah, I played the multiplayer. I didn't dig it at all, really. I played a couple matches. Everyone's just so much better than me. It's really not fun at all. It's not really enjoyable whatsoever.
Yeah, like I played a couple matches because I had the EA Access 10-hour trial when it came out.
That one, yeah.
And it only lets you play the first mission. Nate, I think you might be breathing into the mic.
Oh, okay, sorry.
No, it's okay. I just wanted to catch it now. Yeah, so it lets you play the first story mission to like both sides, like Empire and New Republic, and then it gives you the rest of the 10-hour trial as multiplayer only. So I tried playing the multiplayer, and I don't think I got one single, ship destroyed. I think I died every time that I spawned in. Like I couldn't figure it out. So maybe if I play the campaign
alone,
more,
I mean, it was what, $19
I got it for 20, I think.
Yeah, Squadrons was about $20.
Yeah, it's a good price for $20 for a 6-hour campaign or whatever, what have you.
I'm right at the end of Claudia Gray's Lost Stars novel, which is about 2 fighter pilots too, and so I was in the mood for it at the time, and that's kind of why, like, the other reason why I went with that instead of Vader Immortal, because I kind of had my mindset in that kind of squadron kind of fighter pilot kind of mode, and I think that you need to read that book next, Nate. Once you're done with Thrawn Treason, you need to do Lost Stars.
Okay.
It's really good. Apparently it was the first one, like the first of the new canon, and I didn't even know that. I thought Aftermath was, but I guess it was Lost Stars. So but definitely check it out. I really, really like it. But yeah, so let's just anyone have any last thoughts, or should we just dig into this?
I say let's just go into it, because that's the meat of kind of what's going on right now.
All right, so let's see. So on when was it? On December 10th? Looks like, feels like it was forever ago at this point. But yeah, so on December 10th,
same day as the Game Awards. Same exact. It was happening same time.
And wasn't that the same day as
the Marvel also
Cyberpunk, or was that the week after? Yeah, it was Cyberpunk.
I think
or was Cyberpunk the week after?
No, it was like the night of or something like that. Whatever.
I don't remember. Whatever.
But yeah, Disney had its whole thing.
We got a lot of announcements. It was at a Disney shareholder, or the Walt Disney Company's Investor Day. So Kathleen Kennedy, she took the stage, and we're only talking about Star Wars here. There was a lot of Marvel stuff, a lot of just stuff in general for Disney, and a lot of Hulu stuff.
A Buzz Lightyear origin film, insane.
The character that the toy was based on, not the toy himself, because they were made sure to clarify that, because that's super important. So the first thing that is on this blog post, I didn't realize it was the first thing they announced.
I don't think this is in order of what they announced, but whatever. This is the StarWars.com blog post. This isn't some Johnny Bruhaha's IGN article. This is.
Yeah, so I don't think this is the order that it was revealed in, but so we are getting a Star Wars feature film in 2023 by director Patty Jenkins, who did Wonder Woman and Wonder Woman 1984. One of those movies was good. One of those movies,
Dude, one of those movies was so bad. I was actually pretty hyped for Rogue Squadron before. I'm like, you know what? Wonder Woman was a good movie. But then I come out of 84 on HBO Max.
So Jeff kind of jumped the gun there. It is going to be a Rogue Squadron movie. So now the interesting thing for me is that because Patty Jenkins does have kind of that history with fighter pilots. Her father was a fighter pilot. She grew up with kind of being around that environment, and it sounds like she has a story she wants to tell, which has been an issue in Star Wars feature films lately, where there's not a story they know clearly that they want to tell, and then they kind of wing it. So if she has a specific story that she wants to tell, I'm ready to hear it. Now the thing is with Wonder Woman 1984, because I've seen a lot of people online that are freaking out, and they're like, oh my god, this movie's horrible. Rogue Squadron is going to be horrible because this movie was horrible. Wonder Woman 1984 Did I say 1989? 1984.
Why not? It doesn't even make a difference.
Whatever, it doesn't make a difference. There's like literally no reason for it to be set in that time
No
period,
reason.
aside from just being far enough away from when Superman landed on Earth.
So stupid.
That movie feels like it. I don't even know.
Bad.
It's like they just used the first draft they wrote. You know, like it feels like they never edited it. They never like proofread it. They never like thought about what makes sense about it.
That's what it feels like, but it's crazy because they announced it and the 1984 subtitle back in 2018. So it's like, yo, how did you guys you had so much time on this? It's I don't know.
I think in 1984, I think
pushed, so.
Yeah, I think it was in that window where they were reshaping the DCEU. So that could have something to do with the thing with Rogue Squadron. I think there's actually a lot of really good positive things that can come from this. Starting with what you'd said about her family and things like that and the story she wants to tell. Another thing is one thing that Patty Jenkins does do well, at least from what I've seen, at least in the first Wonder Woman movie. The thrill that you see in the movies that she has, like in terms of the action sequences, they're good. I mean, apart from the ending of the last of the first Wonder Woman, where that was just a CGI mess.
Well, that had
so
Zack Snyder's fingerprints all over it. For me.
Yeah. There's that, and then there's also the fact that this is going to be, from what they kind of talked about, a Rogue One sequel in a certain way of putting it. And going back and rewatching Rogue One this past year, actually just a couple weeks ago, and Anthony, me and you talked about it. Rogue One is a great movie and probably in terms of film, one of the best out of the first wave of Disney Star Wars movies. But it's kind of boring. Not a lot happens. It's very much like tone setting.
Jedi.
Well, it's not even that. It's mostly tone setting, and it's a different Star Wars movie.
Well, it's very drab. Like Solo, say what you want about Solo. I love Solo, but I know
it's entertaining as hell. It's so much fun.
It's entertaining. Rogue One, it's very drab. It's a war movie. It's about death. It's not about there's not going to be a happy ending. Even the first time you saw that movie, without before you knew the ending, you knew the ending.
And that has a lot to do with it too. But for me,
I kind of almost what the vibe I kind of am getting from, or maybe I'm just maybe this is me making it up. I don't know, because we really don't have any information about this other than knowing that Patty Jenkins has a story she wants to tell. But I almost am getting like Captain Marvel vibes. I almost feel like.
Don't say that.
Why, you didn't like Captain Marvel?
Captain Marvel was good. I think Captain Marvel got too overhyped for me to where my expectations were higher.
My problem with Captain Marvel is that they put it in between Infinity War and Endgame, where I was just like, I just didn't care about anything between those. Like Ant-Man too. Like when they did, if they should have put Ant-Man before Infinity War, because once Infinity War came out, I already knew. Well, Ant-Man takes place before it, so obviously the ending, someone's getting dusted, and then it's a cliffhanger. It's like I just don't care. Like I just don't like. And I ended up watching the movie eventually, and I really liked it. It's a really good movie, but it's like the placement of it. It's like, why are you doing that? So,
I get what you're saying.
But let's get off the Marvel bandwagan though, because that's
what do you guys?
The podcast.
Okay, so I'm looking right now. So the N64 1999 title Star Wars Rogue Squadron took place, just 6 months after the Battle of Yavin. So in between 4 and 5.
So
where do you
this
think
movie, I think, is
place?
Actually going to be about the New Republic. Because the way that they're talking about it, it's
really,
and it's going to move the saga into the future era of the galaxy. That's quote. Move the saga into the future era of the galaxy. So I think it's going to be New Republic setting. How far into the New Republic? Because technically speaking, anything after Return of the Jedi would be New Republic era. So I don't know how. I'm not saying.
And the sequel trilogy really didn't do much. They showed, hey, this is the New Republic, and then in the first movie, it's dead. So, so that is a good question. Time period when this is going to be.
If I had to guess, and this movie is 2023, so let's put a pin in this actually, because we'll come back to this because there's some other stuff that we're going to get before this movie that I think might determine when this movie is in the timeline. So let's revisit that question. But so let's go on to the next thing. We didn't get really any information on the Taika Waititi film, aside from the fact that it's confirmed now, and that is going to be let's see. Kathleen said Taika's approach to Star Wars will be fresh, unexpected, and unique, and his enormous talent and sense of humor will ensure that audiences are in for an unforgettable ride. I have no idea what this movie could be about.
I have two theories. First one is that, and honestly, I think it depends on how the High Republic actually is once I read it. But I feel like they could put him in charge of doing a High Republic film. If they're wanting to do that, I don't know. Because I could see Taika's charm and unique storytelling fitting in a more kind of time period.
There's no Sith out in the open yet, right? In the High Republic, so you would think it would be more Jedi being
fun.
Maybe not less fun, but maybe less
focus on evil.
Yeah, like less. It's not a galactic conflict at that point.
Yeah.
So
my second would be that this is where, because we talked about it before we started recording, this film might have something to do with like either Wild Space or like the Outer Rim, and this is where we could see Batu being introduced.
I would love that. Yeah, because
we've already seen from Ragnarok what he can do just building a completely random alien world that immerses you into that experience. So, and even with some of his other films too, but I think Ragnarok's a better example since it's alien in a lot of ways. But yeah, I could easily see them putting him in charge. Hey, we haven't really touched the Outer Rim or these territories. Show us what that looks like.
You know what's funny is you say we haven't really touched the Outer Rim, but I feel like majority of the planets that we go to in Star Wars are in the Outer Rim. That's funny. Like Tatooine, Geonosis, Naboo.
Well, and you can kind of see it more when we go through all of them. But what I think we're seeing with Disney's turn of face, basically from the sequel trilogy, is expanding the universe entirely,
right?
And really building out the minute details of this universe.
I would love for this to be a High Republic movie. I think that's. I think that he could do a lot with making charming characters and making the Jedi cool and fun again. Because the Jedi are the dogma of the Jedi. They're all miserable, depressing, and they're all stupid. They are blind.
I want more Qui-Gons.
Yeah, like definitely. Exactly. I want more Qui-Gons. I want more, not even more. I want more Yodas. You know what I mean? Like I want so not literally, not literally Yoda's species, but like characters like Yoda, that are just they're quirky and they're fun and they they're playful but at the same time serious. And I could go for more of that. I mean, what about Rael Averross from Master and Apprentice? Guys, wacky dudes like him. You know what I mean?
He would fit perfect in a Taika Star Wars movie.
So I think that could work. I also think because the logo's not on this website, but if you remember the logo that they showed for his Star Wars movie,
it has a logo.
It was like it just said Star Wars, but it was in almost like a Ben-Hur font. So I'm wondering.
Yes, I know the exact one you're talking about.
So I'm wondering if maybe you're onto something with maybe Wild Space, Nate. And maybe it's like there's a Jedi that gets stuck on a planet with no way home, and it's almost like a John Carter type of thing.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering maybe, and that could be cool too, because that would basically be Ragnarok again. But I mean, whatever.
Here is some interesting scheduling stuff. I know I said in the beginning we're not on Charlie Bruja's IGN article, but I am looking at GamesRadar.com/ I love this URL, upcoming Star Wars movie / and under Taika Waititi's, they have potentially December 2025 or December 2027. I assume they are just pulling that from whenever Disney has their 10-year slate and it's like untitled movie. So I bet those are just two potential slots. If so, that means it's either 5 or 7 years out. Also, Taika is also working on Thor: Love and Thunder, which is supposed to release in 2022, and I didn't even know this,
which is also under Disney.
Yeah, true. A Charlie and the Chocolate Factory animated series for Netflix. I did not know that was happening.
Well, I would assume that he's probably more a producer. I would assume,
probably,
or even if he's writing it. I mean, I would assume that's a little more low key than something big budget like.
To some, that would be a cause of concern.
I don't think that would get
that up.
I don't think that would cause any interference.
Oh no! I'm just saying. I'm saying this is so far off. Yeah, like I bet he could switch up his, it could be High Republic now. He could say later on behind the scenes shit like, "Yeah, we were going to do this, but then we switch it up."
Yeah. Well, interestingly enough, we don't hear anything about that Rian Johnson trilogy that was announced a while ago.
So. Or the Game of Thrones. Did
that one? That one they I think they officially said that they stepped away from.
They did that.
Okay.
The Rian Johnson one is on this game's radar thing, but the release date says unknown.
But it's not listed on. Yeah, it's not listed.
No one wants it. Yeah. Disney's not acknowledging it. The next thing Disney acknowledges is what I'm so excited for.
Yes. So the next thing is going to be the Star Wars Disney Plus television show, Obi-Wan Kenobi. I thought it was just going to be called Kenobi. I didn't. They're actually calling the show Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah.
In case people didn't know who. Even like if it was called like Old Ben or something. I don't know. I feel like just calling it Obi-Wan Kenobi.
It's like cool,
I guess, but the big news for that, because we already knew that was confirmed, we already knew Ewan McGregor was returning confirmed. The big news that I lost my mind over is our boy Hayden Christensen is coming back. Now Kathleen Kennedy specifies he's coming back as Darth Vader. She doesn't say Anakin Skywalker. She says Darth Vader. So I'm wondering, I mean, you don't bring him back just to put him in the suit without taking his helmet off, right? So I don't know if I don't know if it's gonna be like Ahsoka and Vader in Rebels, where the helmet's damaged and you see his face on the inside. Maybe it's gonna be hallucinations, flashbacks.
Even if that's the case, they showed with that, and even with the series finale of Clone Wars, even that slight moment where you can see his eyes specifically when he's looking in that shot, like the minor things that they do to give emotion to Vader as a character. Works every time. Works both times that they've done it. So even if it's just minor in terms of you can clearly see that that's Hayden Christensen in some kind of way, or even
I think we're going to see him as Anakin again. I mean, I mean, it could be like the Rogue One thing where he was in the back of the tank and you see him there.
Yeah,
it could be that too. But I think we're going to see him as Anakin as well.
But
in some way, I don't know if it's going to be a Force back. I hate that.
They show him Darth Vader. Hayden Christensen's playing him when he's killing the younglings. He's Darth Vader at that point, Right, we didn't have to wear the suit.
Yeah.
They just elongate that scene.
That's what's interesting about this, because this has been a project Star Wars fans have been wanting for a long time. And
originally it was supposed to be a feature. Now it's a TV show, which I like TV shows for this type of thing better because you can explore more in them. Like imagine Mandalorian was a movie instead of 8 episodes a season.
They did some stuff like in Rebels is a good example to where they kind of bridged the gap, sort of like, hey, he was kind of doing some stuff beforehand. So, but I think what's confirmed, no matter what that we're getting, there you go, we're definitely going to see Qui-Gon again. Liam Neeson is cast in this in some way, shape, or form that they haven't announced yet, because
I think we at least hear his voice.
He's in it in some way because he's been in Clone Wars. Was he in Rebels as a voice at all? Because he was prominent in Clone Wars for a few episodes.
I don't think he would have had anything to do in. I mean, if you want to count World Between Worlds, where you hear his voice, but you hear everyone's voice in that, so I don't know if you count that.
But yeah, no, that's something I know for a fact is going to happen, because I mean they keep bringing it up with Revenge of the Sith.
Well, I mean it makes sense because at the end of Revenge of the Sith,
Yoda tells him,
in your exile, training your old master, I've made contact with, or whatever he said. It would almost be weird to have him not at least even if you don't want to see Qui-Gon, at least hear his voice talking to him.
Yeah,
because I know that was kind of a EU thing originally, was that Qui-Gon never figured out fully how to
manifest
appear as a Force ghost, but he was able to commune. Except on Mortis, he was able to, because Mortis was so attuned to the Force. So,
but other than that, I have no idea what the show's going to be about. Even with Hayden involved as Darth Vader, I
think it's going to be about Obi-Wan, maybe trying to.
I hope it's a personal story that has nothing to do with the grand scale of the universe.
It's going to be Obi-Wan on Tatooine. You can clearly tell from the logo the sand, which Anakin hates, on the lettering. So
but there's
going to be a desert
I think that
there's been rumors, right? There's been
Kathleen
rumors
says that
Kathleen
says that Ewan and Anakin and Obi-Wan are going to have the where's the exact? I'm going to paraphrase. She said they're going to have the duel of the century, or the rematch of the century, something like that. So they're going to meet. You know what I mean? It's not going to be and
no,
Vader,
I don't think so. That would make no sense. It would have to be
the rematch of the century. Is what she says. Because even if you think about it, it's a one-off, one-liner in A New Hope, and I don't think George Lucas intended for it to mean this back in 1976 when he wrote it. When Vader says you should not have come back. Now, does he mean to the galaxy at large? Does he mean to the Death Star shouldn't have come back? So I don't know. It could be one of those things where it didn't mean anything back then.
Doesn't he say in that duel, I haven't seen you since whatever? Like essentially, like the last time I saw you,
just says you should not have come back. The last time I was but the apprentice. Now I am the master. Yeah, but
doesn't that imply they haven't seen each other since?
Yeah, but you could spin it. I mean,
okay, no, you obviously just take that.
And this is going to be directed by Deborah Cho. The whole series is. So remind me as far as I guess even second season 2, what episodes she directed.
I don't remember which ones, but I know I liked her episodes. I just don't remember.
I think she might have done the episode.
She might have done the. Well, I was going to say she might have done. I think she did. I thought she might have done the
3
one
and
with
7, the Sin and the Reckoning. The 3 is the Armorer.
That was a good. Oh yeah, that was a good episode.
Chapter 3, the Sin.
What is the Sin? Why am I?
And Chapter 7, the Reckoning. So Chapter 7 was when they go.
Oh, 2 Grief Karga episodes.
Yeah.
Okay, 7 is the one where IG-11 is reprogrammed as a nurse, and he's like,
right, and that's when he takes the helmet off the first time, and he says, "Well, I'm not a human, so I can take your helmet off." And
did she do the season finale of season 2? Because that's what it's showing on.
It's not. No, sorry, Chapter 3, Chapter 7.
No.
I'm just on the main page for the Mandalorian. I'm wrong.
She also did an episode of Better Call Saul and an episode of The Man in High Castle. Also, Obi-Wan Kenobi will be a 6-episode miniseries. 6 episodes, limited, 1 season, nothing more, nothing less.
Yep.
So the point of that primarily is this show is in good hands. There's no, I don't think this show is going to disappoint.
And I really doubt Dave Filoni is going to be completely detached from it. I'm sure he'll be.
No, Dave Filoni right now, as long as I trust.
He's George Lucas at this point. Let's just call him George.
I'm sure he's a producer of some form in this. He's not going to not be around. You know what I mean?
I think it'll
be Deborah's show, but Filoni is going to. He's kind of the new keeper of the Holocron. So.
Speaking of Filoni, the next show.
We're getting 3 new shows from Dave Filoni. Only 2 of them were announced at this Investors Day presentation, but a week later we found out we are getting a 3rd one based on the post credits of The Mandalorian season 2. So we are getting Ahsoka, we are getting Rangers of the New Republic, and we are getting the Book of Boba Fett, which is confirmed now. I don't think we knew if it was confirmed when we last recorded. It is confirmed to not be Mandalorian Season 3. Mandalorian Season 3 is still happening, separate from the Book of Boba Fett. So yeah, I mean, that right there alone is probably all I needed. And the fact that we're getting even more is kind of crazy to me. So
yeah, the fact that they're doing 3 not at a time. Of course, they're gonna pace them out a little bit, but it's cool the fact that Mandalorian has become a literal launching point for new Star Wars.
It's the Iron Man of Star Wars.
Yep, I mean it's the pivot that Disney has needed going from the sequel trilogy. And
imagine if we started the Disney era with the Mandalorian.
Yeah, here's the thing, and this is how I already know it's gonna be good. Is
walk before you crawl.
We don't know. I mean, Ahsoka, we can, and I'll get into my theories on Ahsoka specifically, but Rangers of the New Republic and especially Book of Boba Fett, I guess we'll do Rangers. That shouldn't be something that's, out of all of them, if you're a casual Star Wars fan, I feel like you would think that would be the weakest because you don't know much about it. But I'm excited for that. From what they've showed of the New Republic, I'm excited
to see more of the New Republic because we don't know anything about the New Republic.
Yeah.
Speaking of more, you ready for this? I'm just looking at the wording here. So Obi-Wan Kenobi is referred to as a special event series on Disney Plus. Ahsoka is referred to as a limited series, and New Republic is referred to as a new live action series, no modifier. So based on just that reading, it appears that New Republic will have the most potential seasons. Ahsoka is limited to either 1 or 2, maybe. I don't know how they're defining.
I think that
series.
Ahsoka has a specific endpoint, and that's why I think they're trying to. I think that wording is very careful, so that it's not saying it's only one season. Because I think the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, I think that is supposed to be a long movie. You know what I mean? Almost like
Yeah.
the Snyder
Parts,
Cut. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
I think that's what
Not
that's
a continuous
more
series.
supposed to be.
Yeah.
Whereas Ahsoka, it's still a TV show, but it's them kind of giving you a little nudge of like, hey, this isn't going for 5 seasons.
So going right into it, what do you think Ahsoka's going to be? What do you think the Ahsoka show is going to be?
Clearly going to be about finding Ezra Bridger, right?
I would think so. I mean,
And
the
I think
logo
that-
right off the bat makes me think that it has a lot to do with the world between worlds that we saw in Rebels.
Yeah, I think so too.
It's very symbolic of that. But the fact that we got introduced, name dropped by Thrawn, this past season of The Mandalorian, I think that this, either this or New Republic, I think is where we're going to see him for the first time. I think it's more than likely going to be Ahsoka.
Okay,
though,
so
I think
all
you're
right,
right.
let's just talk about the elephant in the room. They said that these series, which they didn't include Book of Boba Fett because it wasn't revealed yet, and I think that show actually is going to be kind of standalone. I think it's just going to be Boba Fett kind of taking over the Crime
I hope
Syndicate.
so.
I hope that's kind of like standalone. Like I don't mind if Boba still shows up to help Din or whatever. That's fine. But I hope that the story of the Book of Boba Fett, I hope that is a standalone thing. I hope that doesn't really connect to the other stuff. With Ahsoka, Rangers of the New Republic, and Mandalorian season 3, they said that it's building up to some sort of major crossover event. I don't remember the exact.
They're talking about
climactic story event. They're doing Heir to the Empire, right? I mean, obviously they have to adapt and change things because like Ruch is gone, and like Mark Hamill's not 25 anymore. But
yeah,
I mean, this has to be building to Heir to the Empire, right?
You would think
you don't
so.
set up Grand Admiral Thrawn, and not do some sort of Heir to the Empire adaptation. And there's still plenty of time.
That's a book.
So Heir to the Empire was the first of the Thrawn trilogy. It was Heir to the Empire. I forgot.
It was the Thrawn books. Yeah.
The Thrawn, the original Thrawn
ones.
trilogy, not the original
Obviously.
Timothy Dalton ones. Which a lot of people, before we got really anything else aside from the prequels, that was kind of everyone kind of agreed like that's our sequel trilogy, that's our sequel story. And then obviously Disney pressed the delete button in 2013. But I mean that those novels were so well received and so adored, and I feel like it just makes too much sense to bring him. I mean, you don't bring Timothy Zahn back into the fold. You don't have him make 5 Thrawn books. I think he's working on there's the second Thrawn Ascendancy book coming out soon that I still haven't even finished the first Ascendancy one yet. But you don't bring Timothy Zahn back into the fold and bring Thrawn into live action, bring Thrawn into animation even, and then bring him into live action. I mean, the fact that they didn't kill Thrawn in Rebels, you know what I mean? So I think that, it is weird that they killed Ruch, because Ruch plays such a integral part of that Heir to the Empire trilogy. But I mean, you could have anyone fill in. What I want to know is if we're gonna see fucking Eli Vanto, man. If we get a live action Eli Vanto, shit.
That's a good question. That's a really good.
But
question.
I mean, that's where my thought process went. Is that Ahsoka's story is gonna be she's looking for Ezra. And then maybe Ezra fills kind of another character, maybe he fills in the role of another character from that trilogy.
He could be. Do you think he could be like the Luke in this situation in a way?
Maybe not Luke, but maybe like I gotta go through those books because I don't even.
Full transparency. I have not read the books.
I've read the synopsis. I never actually read them, so I gotta actually.
But I mean, I feel like that would be an easy out to like basically use Ezra as that, because they can really do whatever they want with Ezra. Because all we know is they disappeared into hyperspace, and there's a lot of things that they can do, and I think that they are teeing themselves up to really give them a lot of creative freedom to get away with a lot of things in particular. How do you... The next one here, I am slightly indifferent about. That would be the Lando series.
So we don't know. We don't know if this is Billy D. Williams or if it's
Donald Glover.
Donald Glover. I was thinking Childish Gambino. We don't know if it's one or the other or both. If it's recast, is this animated? Is it live action? We don't know anything about this.
This is so far off.
Yeah.
This has no production. This is pre-production. You know, like all I have is a dude who's gonna start developing the story. This one must be in like 27 or something. I think.
Honestly, I would be okay with this being animated.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. By the way, guys, ever look at the wording they use? Event series. So Lando is going to be whatever the same thing that Obi-Wan is. Interesting.
Yeah, so
I think it's going to go one of two ways. I think it's either going to be Donald Glover reprising his role, and it's more like telling more stories about Lando, which I'm totally cool with because I really
that's
did
where
like.
We get the follow up to the Crimson Dawn stuff from Solo.
Yeah,
that's okay. Those would be lumped in together. Those two, a reintroduction of Crimson Dawn and actual perpetuity, and then Donald Glover reprising his role. The other option I think that they could go with, I don't think they will, just because they didn't give any attention to it at all, is the whole thing with Janna.
Yeah.
So because she was from Rise of Skywalker. 9? Yeah, from 9. She.
Oh,
what they kind of. Well, no. As far as like it actually not being about Lando, but more being about her. Like Lando being instead of giving her own show, because episode 9 was episode 9. They could tell a story in that way because she's an interesting character, and apparently, it's still a shoehorn lineage. I feel like just because how 9 was portrayed, but that's how I could see both of. That's how I could see the show going.
I wonder if it could go both ways, and there's like a frame story of like Lando and Janna are like looking for something, and then they're sitting by a campfire, and Lando's like, "Hey, remember this one time that I was hanging out with that scoundrel Han?" And then it flashes back to like Alden, and you think it's too cheesy?
That'd be actually so funny. That'd be very cheesy, but so funny.
I would love it. But I don't think that's what we're getting though.
Unfortunately, though, I'm just looking at the numbers. I don't see a situation how it could be Billy D. If we're saying I'm saying this is so far off that it's 2027, let's say, Billy D is 83. Near 90-year-old man leading a show. How many shows right now have 90-year-olds?
Well, that's why I was thinking maybe like VO, because he could do VO easy for animated series. I don't know.
That would be a very cool thing, yeah.
It would be weird to not bring back Donald Glover,
for a Lando show.
So as that character in Solo. Like, no matter what people's thoughts are of Solo, usually they'll at least admit, but Lando was good in it.
And Disney's got the money, It's really if just Donald Glover wants to go with for music or whatever.
Well, like we had talked about before too, off air, the Crimson Dawn stuff they teed up, especially in the final season of the Clone Wars. We don't know if we're actually going to get a Maul show with Ray Park because of the scandal that I guess most people don't know about him posting.
So he posted a very inappropriate video that. I'm not going to explain
to Instagram. I'm not going to describe it.
Forever ago. No, it was like 5 years ago.
No, it was last year. Yeah, it was last year. It was in 2020. But if that's the case, we're not getting something with Ray Park specifically. That would be a cool way to continue. Because Crimson Dawn, the idea of that,
just friggin' put Sam Witwer in the makeup.
Yeah,
just do it. Just
honestly.
Whatever.
Yeah, but that is a good point. I something I did forget about. That's something we very well could see in the Lando show if we're not going to get more of a solo experience with Aldridge.
Yeah, but so I think that one is Aldridge. Alden?
Aldridge.
No.
Yeah. Wait, hold on.
Aldridge Killian. He's Iron Man 3.
Alden
What's the guy's name?
Alden. God bless. I'm like
Aldridge
having
Killian.
a stroke.
Wow, that was a deep cut.
That was a deep
from Iron Man 3.
Yeah.
That's a deep cut. I haven't seen that movie in a long time.
I'm the real Mandarin.
Who the fuck is Vision? Who plays Vision?
Alden Ehrenreich.
No, that's the actor's name, but who's Vision?
Paul Bettany.
Oh, Jarvis.
I know. What's his name in
Jarvis.
Fucking Solo? In Solo.
Beckett. Dryden Voss. Damn it. I'm just
Dryden Voss. Okay,
Yeah.
what happened? He died in the end of that, right?
Yeah,
in the end of Solo?
yeah.
I totally forgot.
Yeah, he died.
What's her name?
100%.
Okay, so he's not coming back.
Spoilers for Solo if you somehow haven't seen that.
You listen to this podcast. Do we think Maul? So I still haven't watched the Rebels part. Is that scene in Rebels when he meets up with Obi-Wan? Is that the first time they meet since episode 1?
Time.
Well, no, I'm saying it was the first time they met since the fight where Qui-Gon died.
No, there was the whole Clone Wars stuff.
Oh yeah. Okay, whatever. So in between that, since Order 66, then.
Since Order 66, I would assume, yeah, because because Maul was on Malachor, like basically freaking out, being like, "I've been hunting for this motherfucker for like years."
Yeah.
So
because I was just thinking, is there a way that Maul could somehow be in
Obi-Wan Kenobi
Lando as like a crime guy and Obi-Wan? Like
I could see Maul being in the Obi-Wan show as like a phantom or like something haunting him, but not the real Maul. I could see like a vision of Maul. You know what I mean? Like
that'd be cool if we get Maul showing up.
Think about the PTSD that Obi-Wan probably has from Order 66. So I wouldn't be surprised if that show is about him confronting.
If it's about trauma, I'm cool with that.
Oh, dude, it's going to be about trauma. How could it not be? Everyone
like think about that. Like he's confronting Maul, he's confronting Vader, he's confronting
to kill
Emperor.
Clones. Like,
this show's
that's gonna be a great show.
That show's gonna be so good. All right, so moving on. So I think this is actually gonna be the next show we're gonna get that is after this whole Mandalorian cinematic universe. Which is Andor, which is the Cassian Andor show. Cassian Andor is being reprised by Diego Luna, who played him in Star Wars Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. They announced some new cast as well. I don't believe any of these were confirmed prior to this. So we got Stellan Skarsgård, Adria Arjona, Fiona Shaw, Denise Gao, Kyle Soller, and Genevieve O'Reilly as Mon Mothma. So she portrayed Mon Mothma in Rogue One as well as Revenge of the Sith, the deleted scenes of Revenge of the Sith. And I think she might have did the voice in Clone Wars as well.
This is a Disney Plus original movie.
No, this is a series.
Yeah.
Where does it say the word series?
Tense, nail-biting thriller, etc. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's a series.
It's been released at that is an interesting point, but it has been like when they've talked about it for the past couple of years, it's been like it's a series. That's weird that they don't say it in that, but I think that might be an oversight. But no, it's a series. That is exciting though. I wasn't really excited about the Andor thing. Like I'm still going to watch it.
It's a 12-episode series.
But the fact that they're going like nail-biting spy thriller, it's like that kind of precedent.
It's like the opening to Rogue One when he's on.
Phenomenal.
I don't know what planet that is. I don't remember.
It was some kind of station, like
and then he has to kill the guy with the bad leg because he knows he's going to rat him out, and like that type of stuff. I would love more of that. That I thought that opening scene was so awesome. It felt very Star Wars Bounty Hunter to me for like the
totally forgot about that. Yeah.
So I'm down for more of that. So I'm excited. And the fact that we're getting Genevieve O'Reilly back as Mon Mothma is cool. It's going to tie it all together with the overall rebellion. I don't know when this is set, so I don't know how many years before Rogue One it's going to be. Obviously, it's before Rogue One because he doesn't make it out of Rogue One.
5 years before the events of the film.
Okay, so that's cool. So that puts us well ahead of Rebels as well.
And 12 episodes, yeah.
So this is even well before Rebels. So this is going to kind of be. It's going to be like a
same
good time
period as Solo?
Solo, I think, was about 10 years before.
Yeah, I think
9 or 10 years before.
So a little after.
So it's in a good time period. It's not really conflicting with any other movies or films. It can kind of do its own thing, really. Which I think is cool.
By the way, this is where it's going to start becoming. All right, at what point do these motherfuckers forget about the Jedi? Because if like. In Lando, the galaxy at large, like remember the Jedi, they show, but then like in Andor, they show they forget. Like I hope they stay consistent of some sort,
Well, it's going to depend on the person too, because I mean the average galactic citizen probably didn't know the Jedi, and they probably heard rumors of who the Jedi were, but never saw them. And it's easy for the Emperor to just say, "Oh, that's all made up bullshit." So I mean, obviously, people that participated in the Clone Wars, like Bo-Katan, obviously she's going to be like, "Yeah, I know the Jedi," because she fought with them. But like your average galactic citizen, like your Joe Schmo who's a janitor on Coruscant, he's dumb enough to believe, all right, yeah, Jedi were fake, obviously.
Just while Nate is in the bathroom or wherever he went, they also, what Disney didn't officially announce, but what could still be in the works, is that Kevin Feige Star Wars movie. We don't know anything about that, but just reports and stuff like that. But that could be cool. But going on to the next confirmed thing.
This is really interesting. So the next thing that we confirmed, it's called The Acolyte, and it's going to be a Disney Plus series. It's going to be developed and I think directed by Leslie Headland, who did the Netflix series Russian Doll. which I thought was awesome. I binged the whole thing in like 4 hours. It's really good. It's very trippy, but it's really good. I'm not sure. I'm not sure you get Star Wars vibes from it, but it's just the fact that she was able to craft a really unique show makes me gives me hope for this. This is set in the final days of the High Republic, and it is let's see. So it is
Sith related,
a mystery thriller that will take the audience into the galaxy of shadowy secrets and emerging dark side powers in the final days of the High Republic era. So
interesting. It doesn't say Sith though. But it must be. What else?
I like that.
Well, see, here's the thing. Sith acolyte, So
I like that though because Jedi Sith. I don't want to. I'm not going to say I don't want to see that anymore in Star Wars, but I want them to get more nuanced with it. Like there's a lot more that they can do, especially with the High Republic, and even more historical things about the Jedi, where it's not like the Jedi and Sith we know from the Skywalker saga. Right. I didn't think much of this until me and you were talking about this, and this could very well be, well, two things. One, I feel like the fact that they've confirmed that this is a show that's set in the High Republic era gives a little bit more credence to the possibility of the Taika Waititi thing we talked about, as far as that being a theatrical thing. But with the Acolyte, like you had talked about, we could see something akin to maybe not Revan, but more like Plagueis or something along those lines.
We can get one of the other podcasts I listened to, Rebel Force Radio, they were talking about the potential of maybe bringing back Darth Talon, who was supposed to be in some version of George's original sequel trilogy. Darth Talon was going to be a secret apprentice to Darth Maul, who Darth Maul was actually going to come back and be the original villain for the sequel trilogy. And she was a Twi'lek. And she was so maybe they're reimagining that character to fit this era.
You know why they bring that up? Because I'm looking at Joe Schmo's blog once again, and it's sources from a week after The Mandalorian Season 3 entered development. News emerged that a female-centric new Star Wars series being worked on with Leslie Headland, because Russian Doll, I guess a female show, I don't really know at all. Yeah. But so there's been reports that this is going to be a female-centric series. So if that Darth you're talking about is a female, that'd be very interesting.
That would be awesome. The other thing too is like when I played KOTOR, I don't know why, I just always thought that it would be so much cooler to have Darth Revan as a female. I don't know why. Like I just feel like
Asajj is a dope ass Sith.
Why? So the other thing too is like when does the High Republic era end? Are we not? Is it not the High Republic era?
The High Republic was 200 years before the prequels.
I'm just saying, there's zero chance this is secretly actually the Maul show, right?
I don't think it's a Maul show, but I think it could very well.
This show is actually specified as being separate from the other shows, so that it's not in that universe of the fucking
I think it could. I think that this is going to have something to do with. Because if it's going to be the Sith is the line of Bane. It's going to eventually tie into some sort of Plagueis, Palpatine.
Yeah. Something. Especially if it's towards the end of the High Republic area.
Yeah. So maybe we see Plagueis show up at the end of it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Crazy. That'd be really cool. Next up.
This one we already knew about, but they're just kind of going over it again. We are getting the Bad
trailer,
Batch.
A lengthy trailer.
Great trailer.
Absolutely.
We're getting Star Wars: The Bad Batch. It's an animated series following up on the Bad Batch squad, which was introduced in Star Wars: The Clone Wars Season 7. So all of them are coming back. D. Bradley Baker is gonna have his hands full. He better be getting paid handsomely.
Yeah.
Does he actually do all the voices?
He does all the voices.
That's so funny.
Tech, the character Tech, I don't know why. Like, does he to me he reminds me of Kevin Spacey's character from what was the fucking the movie everyone was watching at the start of the pandemic with the
Contagion?
The fever. It's like an 80s movie.
It's not Contagion. It's not Contagion, but it's let me find it. Hold on.
Outbreak. They just chimed in with that.
Outbreak.
He reminds me of Kevin Spacey's character from Outbreak, just like the way he looks with the goggles and everything. So, and the receding.
He does have a Kevin Spacey hairline, yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite part about this is that it is following Order 66. So a batch of clones who aren't listening to Order 66, like, are they going to be killing other clones? Like, what's in it? Are they going to be killing other clones in a fucking animated show? Maybe.
I think so. The fact that it's post 66, I think is awesome because we, especially after how they finished Clone Wars, it's like, yes, let's see more, please. Like, let's see what the Star Wars world was.
This is the perfect vessel to explore more while leaving Clone Wars with that fitting ending. You know what I mean? Like, we're not getting Clone Wars season 8. It's not taking anything away from the way it ended.
It's not
but
even
it is
Clone Wars Bad Batch. It's the Bad Batch,
But it's the same animation style, which I thought was beautiful in the final season. It's
Consistent.
a shame that we wasted a lot
And
of time
there's
with sisters.
That was the two.
Oh my God.
That was the two things I noticed from the trailer. Was that the animation? This is probably the most beautifully animated show we've gotten so far. Second, I saw it in first glance, and then I actually had to screen cap it, and then they confirmed it. But Ming-Na Wen's character from Mandalorian, Fennec, is a prominent character in Bad Batch.
And she is voiced by Ming-Na Wen.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that.
The fact that she was a character just introduced in The Mandalorian, only seen twice, getting involvement in a show like this is like, okay.
And she seems super excited too, which is awesome because I love
which
her
is great.
That's anything she can get. I mean, Mulan, she was great as Agent May, and in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So any more involvement from her is good by me. So I'm really excited for this, man. Like when they first revealed it, I was kind of like, cool. But the more I think about it, the more I'm excited. And so there's a lot of people who are speculating online, and I've just kind of seen general chatter. I can't think of anyone specific that said it, but if there is someone that specifically said it, let me know and I'll give them credit. That I'm wondering if the Bad Batch are the ones that rescue Grogu from the temple. They will take on daring mercenary missions as they struggle to stay afloat and find new purpose.
So you think the Jedi team up with
animated
them? Or the Jedi send
Grogu.
them on a mission or something?
Animated baby Grogu. Come on.
I mean,
Grogu's not season 3 of Mandalorian, but he's in the Bad Batch. Come on, it's too funny.
That would actually be the craziest way to capitalize on that.
And it would make sense because everyone's like, how the hell did he not get killed by Anakin? And if the Bad Batch know Anakin, they know his tactics. You know what I mean? So
go ahead and go to this next one. There's someone at the door. Give me just a second.
Go ahead.
So this next one, Star Wars Visions. So this is going to be I think it's a series of so Star Wars Visions is a series of animated short films celebrating Star Wars through the lens of the world's best anime creators. The anthology collection will bring 10 fantastic visions from several of the leading Japanese anime studios, offering fresh and diverse cultural perspectives to Star Wars. I'm hyped for this. This is awesome.
Yeah, this obviously Star Wars anime. That sounds amazing. So they've done something like this before.
So are you talking about the Genndy Tartakovsky Clone Wars series?
Oh no, definitely not that.
Are you talking about?
I'm not sure if I'm thinking of a fan made thing. Maybe it might be fan made, but I think they did. Maybe not. Either way, I hope it's like raw, animation style. Like not rounded, like Americanized anime. Like like I'm not gonna shit on Avatar, but like not like that Avatar, like, oh, it's kind of Japanese stuff. Like I want this to be unabashedly Japanese art style,
Avatar? You don't think Avatar is anime? Well, you want him to have fucking Goku hair?
No.
Like,
I don't know. Have you ever watched not Goku hair, but like Akira style? Of like.
I guess. I mean, that's what I assumed it would be. Honestly.
Avatar's not anime. Come on. It's like American anime. I can't find this. I can't be going crazy. The animated, maybe it's Forces of Destiny.
That's the YouTube series, right?
Yeah, maybe like one of them looked more anime than something. I don't know.
I do think there was like a fan-made like adaptation.
There is,
of a scene
but I guess that's
from
not
one
official.
of the movies. It was like a Revenge of the Sith scene, but it was like a fan
anime,
remade it in anime fashion.
So, so I love those fan made things. So Star Wars Visions, bada bing, bada boom.
Yeah, I'm good with this, man. I'm excited, and it's something different, something fresh. You know what I mean? It's not gonna be It's not going to, be adding on to the Filoni verse. You know what I mean? It's going to be its own cool spin on things. And the fact that it's an anthology series, which means that everything is going to be its own thing. That's going to be awesome too.
Have they confirmed that it's kind of similar to What If, Marvel's What If in some ways, where it's more like anthology, nothing really synced wise?
Well, it's going to be canon, I would assume, but they did say it's an anthology series.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, it looks like
so.
It's canon.
Each episode will be its own. Each short will be its own story.
That's cool.
Which means that's means
really,
10,
really cool.
Minimum 10 new characters we're going to get to know. And I think that's awesome.
Yeah. Or they just reuse fucking side characters. You get a whole 10 minutes of Pondo Baba.
Oh,
sniffing ass.
And then the last thing, because we're not going to get into Willow just because that's not Star Wars related. But
Willow.
It's cool, but not Star Wars, yeah.
And also in Indy we're getting as well. But the final Star Wars thing is a droid story. So the blog post states, as Lucasfilm continues to develop new stories, the intersection of animation and visual effects offers new opportunities to explore. Lucasfilm Animation will be teaming up with Lucasfilm's visual effects team, Industrial Light and Magic, to develop a special Star Wars adventure for Disney Plus, a droid story. This epic journey will introduce us to a new hero guided by legendary duo R2-D2 and C-3PO.
This description is a little interesting now because I remember the way they pitched it on stage was like, this is kid shit. Like,
what
this is a show for kids.
This is Grogu.
I was going to say, what if that
every show is just Grogu?
No, but it could be though. Like
they let it up with the last episode. Like, why did him and R2 have this cute little like moment?
Introduce us to a
when
new
they've
hero
never met
guided
before
by R2-D2. I don't know. I
don't think it's Grogu, but I think you're onto something.
I think
where
this is going to be like the
Grogu's
Freemaker Adventures, like the Lego Freemaker.
It's going to be,
something like that.
Yeah.
I think it's
I'm not opposed to it. Honestly, with the lineup that they've listed here, like if you would have asked me,
I'm okay with this being a kids show,
Yeah, if you would have asked me in 2018,
every Star Wars thing.
Hey, Disney's making this kids thing for droids. It's like, oh, Disney's just trying to shell to make money. But with like the lineup that they've gotten here and the content they've given us so far with this new wave of Star Wars, it's like whatever this is, I'm here for it. I'm going to experience it. Like it's going to be. Hopefully, I don't sleep on this, and like I did Rebels, and it actually has importance. But we'll see. I mean, definitely one of the ones that we don't know much, if anything, about. As far did they say that this is going to be intersection of animation and visual effects? Okay, so that is interesting though. They don't say specifically it's an animated show like the Bad Batch. So is it like I don't know. That's interesting.
I think it's just CG. I think it's just some weird CG. I don't know. I think honestly, it's so early in development. This is like when Marvel announced Phase 3, and like you had Endgame up there, and like Civil War didn't even come out. It's like, whoa, you guys are like, how do you even know? Like this is just so classic. This is like good Disney forward thinking. But
I can agree.
Yeah, overall, I made a fucking list. Like I did a picture of like my top 3 because it was a good picture also that I want to bring up to you guys. But what would you say top 3, no order, just 3 of the most excited things you're juiced for?
Ahsoka, clearly, because I'm such a Clone Wars guy. You know what I mean? That Clone Wars is what got me. Like, obviously, I grew up with the prequels, and I watched the OT before those even existed, obviously. But Clone Wars was what really started me down the path of the ultra fandom that I carry. You know what I mean? So the fact that we're getting live action Ahsoka Tano is amazing. So that's probably, I mean, this is in no order, but I mean that's one of my top 3, I would say. And then obviously the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, just the potential for this series, I think. Makes me really excited for that. And then I don't know, man, because the Bad Batch and the Acolyte. I mean, so I'll go with the Bad Batch because we don't know what the Acolyte is. But I'm an honorable mention to the Acolyte. I think it sounds promising. It sounds very interesting. But I'll go Bad Batch, Ahsoka, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Nice, cool. Because I'm actually taking none of those, so we can have some diversity. I threw up the image that has all the logos of all the Star Wars things. So. Obi-Wan Kenobi, we're all going to take him. I'm so excited. Fucking Hayden Christensen. Obi-Wan Kenobi, Acolyte, because, dude, just look at this guy. Look up Acolyte logo. It's like this cool, listeners, it's like this cool, like, blade slash through a red thing. It looks amazing. So Obi-Wan Kenobi, Acolyte, and I guess. Oh no, Visions, the anime. I was saying I'm hoping it's going to be really sharp, cool anime. I believe in it. Yeah.
So for me, I'm actually going to go with the same as Anthony. With one alteration. Ahsoka, Bad Batch, and Obi-Wan Kenobi are the ones that I personal enjoyment I'm so excited for. Ahsoka for obvious reasons, just the fact that she has what started out as a shoehorned kids character becoming an actual fleshed out, realized, legitimately character in the Star Wars universe, and her importance and how she ended in Rebels, ended loosely, and what that could lead to is actually on, I would say, akin to an in-game kind of situation with Marvel in terms of this has implications for the entire universe of Star Wars, which is fascinating. Bad Batch, I am on such a high from the Clone Wars. Like, I haven't gone back and rewatched the last season, even though I want to, because I'm trying to figure out if I want to just watch that or rewatch everything. But like, the animation looks phenomenal. I'm so excited to experience this story, to experience these who are still clones, but who are the most different clones that we've ever seen. Obi-Wan Kenobi, obviously, because it's something we've waited for a long time. My honorable mention is going to be Andor. Because
nice.
The hype behind Andor is giving me feelings of when I went to go see Winter Soldier for the first time, where up until that point we got, this is superhero, and this is an espionage, like deep spy story. The tone that they're setting with what they're talking about and kind of what we've seen from the beginning part of Rogue One, it's like, okay, I'm ready for that. I'm ready to see Star Wars tackle that kind of storytelling. That'd be my 3.
Yeah, that's a great honorable with Andor as well. So yeah, that's I mean, there's still a lot more we could talk about, but I think that's a good place to put a pin in it. You guys have any closing thoughts?
I'm gonna post these visual aids. Should I post these visual aids on my wall, like as like mini posters, or should I like have them as like just fun things like, what do you think about
I would say maybe like line going down.
Yeah,
that would be cool.
Use them as like a
chronological
Rorschach
order.
test on a podcast or something.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. How does this make you feel?
Oh my god, your therapist looks at these pictures. What does this make you feel? How about this?
I think that closing thoughts for me, I think that what we got from that investor call and how much care and attention they're putting into Star Wars now is, it kind of sucks to get it now when we could have gotten it a few years ago, but like,
but at least the ship is on.
At least it's happening.
At least it's on the
we know
that's
for
where
a
I
fact
am. Where it's a little bit of a bummer because of the fact that, like you said, like damn, like they couldn't do this from the start.
But I feel like it almost.
But they
makes
are
that even
doing
better.
it now, and I don't know if we could have gotten here now without them falling on their faces.
Exactly.
You know?
That's
so
where I'm at.
You know what it is? At the end of the day, it's Disney, funked up Star Wars, but then Disney Plus saved Star Wars.
Yep.
Because this is all Disney Plus. If there was
Favreau
Disney
and
Plus, I don't think
Filoni.
they would have done this.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I do think that
Of course.
There's a lot of people saying that they're gonna find a way to retcon the sequel trilogy. There's no.
I don't think so.
I don't think there's any scenario.
There's not much
I could
need
see
to
them
retcon.
sidestepping. I could see them ignoring it, but I don't see them retconning it.
They're backing up the sequel trilogy with all the shit they're doing in Mando.
Yeah, like
not
they're setting
retconning
up the First Order. So
They set up,
I don't see any scenario where they retcon it, and I honestly don't think I want that. You know what I mean? Because
I don't.
It has to happen. I hate
like
Last
the
Jedi,
issues
but
that
it's still
I have
what happens.
with the sequel trilogy. I'm always gonna have those issues. Maybe they'll lessen over time, but they happened. I don't really like when people just say, "Oh, didn't happen." So add more.
There's a shitty
backstory
casino
to it.
planet
Flesh
somewhere.
them out
Deal
more.
with it.
You know, I mean that's what a lot of people. I always love the prequels, but a lot of people did kind of turn around on the prequels because of Clone Wars, and so maybe they can do something,
exactly
like that.
Yeah.
With the sequel trilogy,
Interesting point.
They're good at doing that. They've already proven. So yeah, I think that's what's going to happen for sure.
So, but I do think that Star Wars is on the right track. Yeah. From all of us here at Hello There, we thank you for listening. And we'll catch you on next week. Nate, you want to talk about novels next week? Are you going to get through Treason?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to get through Treason next week, but I know I'm going to get a majority because I'm already I think I'm on like chapter 7 right now. So I mean, I can get through. I can get to where I can talk about it. So if you want to talk about like you're re-listening to it, you know, kind of the beginning stages of it, we can definitely do that.
Yeah, maybe we'll do that.
So in that case, I most likely won't be on next episode. So listeners, if you want the Lego Star Wars 411, just today on January 1st, they dropped the Imperial TIE Fighter at $40, the Luke Skywalker X-Wing Fighter at $50, and Trouble on Tatooine for $30, as well as a microfighter, but $10, who cares? Yeah. Jeffrey Miz's recommendation for the pickup is Trouble on Tatooine. It's a 276-piece build with a little hut for a Tusken Raider, and then a speeder bike and a catapult thing, essentially what's used in season 2 episode 1 to stop the Mandalorian. It comes with a for the first time ever, is the only set we see it in, Beskar armor Mandalorian piece. The one we got in the Razor Crest, of course, was the original armor. It comes with a child piece. If you're looking for that on the cheap, you don't have to buy the $130 Razor Crest. Overall fun set, has a lot of play ability and some great minifigs.
Nice. Yeah, and we'll have you on the show again in the future as well. So
yeah.
So all right. But yeah, thank you all for listening. We'll catch you all soon. May the Force be with you.
Peace.